Asheotep, Ankh Ujasineb. Well, it's your boy Scrappy Konsudea. Once again, back at y'all. There's a lot of things I'd like to share with the family. Ankh. Shout out to the BLK community, Black Renaissance Karma, Black Renaissance of Kemet. Now, I just had to get into the 42 divine principles of Maat, or the 42 commandments of Maat, and that's very important, right, to a deeper understanding of information and our beliefs and all that, which was well ingrained throughout years and years and generations, and there's belief, there's folklore, and there's indoctrination, which is something very real and deeply rooted in society, right? The truth will set you free. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Don't be ignorant. For a lack of knowledge, of people perish and all that, right? So we should seek knowledge. Right. One thing to note is that in ancient Kemet, there was already 42 commandments, thousands of years before anybody ever heard about a Bible or John, Luke, Matthew, Jeezy, Young Jeezy, and all that. So you have your regular commandments that go, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. But the ancient Kemetic commandments of Maat goes, I have not stolen and I have not killed. Now there's a difference between saying I have not stolen and saying I shall not steal. Because somebody could be the biggest thief in the world and they could still, as soon as they just rob somebody's house or snatch an old lady's purse. It's an old lady, she just bought some groceries, going back home, but he still keep on stealing. The same thing for the killer. But when you say I don't kill or I haven't killed, that's an affirmation, right? So that right there goes to show that even though the concept of affirmations that everybody been talking about lately, it goes back to ancient Kemet. And you have commandments in the laws of Maat that tell you, I have not committed sin. I have not committed robbery with violence. I have not stolen. I have not slain men or women. I have not stolen food. I have not swindled offerings. I have not stolen from God or goddesses. I have not been exclusively angry. You hear that? Let's say somebody try to come to your house and try to rape your daughter and your wife. You should get angry and defend yourself. But you should not get exclusively angry, like exclusively angry for a little petty stuff. Somebody expressing their opinions and their point of view, and you're all in your feelings ready to get aggressive and physical. You know what I mean? So you have these laws and principles, commandments, thousands of years before 10 commandments out of the Bible. The 10 commandments came out of the 42 laws of Maat, and they were properly placed in the Bible, well polished up and prepared and cooked and baked in the oven with the napping and the cream and syrup and honey, sugar down so you could like it. You know what I mean? Blue pill, red pill, and whichever one you take leads you down to the same road. Only pill you need is the Kemetic pill, the black pill. That's the real pill you need, the real black pill to decipher everything throughout this matrix, right? So you have other laws, other commandments that goes, I have not caused disruption of peace. I have not behaved violent. I have not acted hastily or without thought. So before just reacting to someone's words or actions, right, you should think of your own thoughts, right? Think it over. Think before you act. Look before you lip. You know what I mean? So you have not exaggerated my words when speaking. Most of the time when people exaggerate their words when they speak, throughout all these exaggerated words, there's a lot of lies, right? I have not stolen what belongs to God or goddesses. I find it interesting that there are so many commandments of Maat that is focused on not stealing stuff. Don't steal food. I have not stolen. I have not committed robbery. I have not stolen from the God or goddesses. You know what I mean? So a thief, and when you think about your oppressor and the way they stole every like if what belonged to black people was concentrated into an alphabet, like I mean like the Wazungu. Yeah, he really did a number on our people. The Wazungu took like A to Z, and if there was a letter after Z, he would Z1, Z2, Z.1, Z point. You know what I mean? Even the fractional part of it, he took everything. And not only that, he took everything from you and me, he stripped you out of everything that was you, right? Stripped away your knowledge, stripped away your spirituality, stripped away your culture, stripped away your language. Then that motherfucker was stripped away your clothes on your back. Like everybody in the bottom of that boat was bucket naked, chained up, and they didn't even give a fuck. They was upstairs drinking champagne already on a boat named Jeezy. Go figure. So that's that. Like we have to really look into these things. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science. Like, no, they are good ones. Yeah, but the fragile amount of good ones can't do nothing to stop the actions, the intentions, the agendas of the bad ones against you. You have a natural survival instinct embedded within you. Every form of life has a natural instinct to survive. Let's deal with some more Maatic commandments, right? Let's see what we got. So, I have not cursed anyone in thought, word, or deeds. I have not cursed anyone in thought, word, or deeds. Everything is energy, family. Everything is energy. So, even in your thoughts, you that means like in your thoughts you are capable to curse someone, and the negative. That's why they call it the negative confession, because you're saying what's negative that you don't do. So indirectly, it's positive. It's positive to not do a negative, and negative to not do a positive. Same way. So see, the mess is deep, family. The mess is real deep. You know what I mean? It's real deep. Let me get into it. I have not overstepped my boundaries of concern. For those nosy people that like to put their nose in people's business. When things don't concern you, it's out the boundaries of your concern. So you don't need to mingle and mix yourself in everything that flip and flop. You have your own life to deal with. Like, you could always help someone in need. You know what I mean? That's a good thing to do. Positive. I have not exaggerated my words. Okay, we had that one already. I have not stolen from or disrespected the deceased. This one is powerful, real powerful, because you come to find out that the Tomb Raiders, right? The Tomb Raiders, the Egyptologues, the so-called Egyptologues, but in fact, the real name we should put on these people, while our people was in chains and on the plantations of cocoa, coffee, sugarcane, and cotton, white cotton. I have not stolen from or disrespected the deceased. So when these people go to ancient Kemet and other parts of the motherland, right, and they dig up our ancestors, that's disrespecting the deceased. You know what I mean? That's plain disrespecting the deceased. Like, it's our ancestors, and other people have the so-called right under the pretext of Egyptologists and historians and anthropologists and all type of ist, just as pretext to go steal our ancient ancestors' stuff, remains, jewelry, fortunes, right? Gold, diamond, silver, artifacts, cups, vase, carved in granite, one of the hardest stones on this planet Earth. And they had to have high technology to carve these artifacts, because you have meticulous design perfectly, like I mean, like very, very intricate designing on small vase, small balls, pots. You can do that shit with a mallet and a chisel. You can do that shit with an animal's jawbone and a stone. You cannot do that shit with that. So that's that. I have not destroyed property belonging to God or goddess. That's another one, back to back, dealing with the ancestors, right? You know how many structures, right? Temples, pyramids, these people have destroyed, vandalized, defaced. And the defacing part, you notice quite well right now. The breaking of the noses and the lips, the African noses and African lips, because they didn't want you to notice that it was your ancestors who did these great things. And a lot of black people, you tell them about these things, and they'll be quick to say something stupid as, well, if the ancient Egyptians were the greatest civilization, then what happened to them? Why did they fall? But they fail to realize that ancient Kemet, even when you think about slavery, and I know the Bible tried to say that the ancient Kemites, Egyptians, were the ones that had people in bondage, but these are all made up stories. That we deal with this. So these people break off all the statues' noses, the Egyptian statues' noses, because anytime you would look at, and even with what that remains after the noses that they broke off, you could still see the black. Malcolm X went to Kemet for his first time, and when he saw the magnificence of ancient Kemet and looking at all the different statues, he was an intelligent man when he was in his solar existence. But the energy is still alive, basically, because energy never dies, right? The body is just a vehicle, but the driver, that spiritual driver that driving this vehicle, don't die. You are like a ray of light of the creator, the creative force, whatever you like to think of it as, the Most High, God, the Almighty, the universal creator. You know what I mean? So I have not closed my ears to truth. And as we're talking about truth, for lack of knowledge, the people perish, and a lack of knowledge for being ignorant, like closing your ears to truth. Close it, like you know, you feel is the truth, you know is the truth, it sound like the truth, and you like just ignore. You would prefer to just move, go do some stupid shit, go waste your time on Facebook, go waste your time on TikTok, Instagram, looking at other people's lives, instead of being real and just facing the truth. A lot of people, it just boils down to plain being scared. They're just scared of the truth. Can you handle the truth? Most times the same people that be saying, yeah, we should speak truth, we should be truthful, a lot of times they are the same ones that cannot handle the truth. I have not been angry without reason. That's another reason why you could be angry if you have a reason, because it's telling you I have not been angry without reason. Now there's a condition where you could be angry with reason. Simple. I don't need to go too much into detail. A child could understand. I have not taken food from a child. Talking about child, I have not taken food. That's stealing again, but it's from a child. Like, what kind of crazy person would go and steal food from a child? And I'll be there. But you have that. Unfortunately, you have people that will take food from a child, and even more. In the kind of crazy world we live in, there are people that take more than just food from children. And since it's a touchy subject, I won't be able to go too deep into it on YouTube or YouTube. The subscribers and gratitude, I give thanks every day, even without me coming and say it, without me saying it out in my mind, in my heart. I give thanks for every single subscriber on my channel, because without where are the subscribers? Like you, your channel is like oblivious. It's oblivion, you know what I mean? It's, you making videos for who? Like on a real in life, the essence and the concept and the idea of being great in something is actually being great at providing a service or serving people, like whatever area that you could serve people with real quality service, because you have to find that thing, that talent, that skill that you have, that you are the best in. It could be in knowledge as well. Like everybody knows stuff, but not everybody knows everything there is to know. So you find different people in different areas of knowledge that's more well-rounded on that particular area than other people. So the area that you well-rounded, that you at your best knowledge-wise, that's the area that you should invest yourself in, and provide that service to people. And if it's a product or something else, the same concept, like what you could make physically the best, that's what you should make and offer to people, offer to the world. You know what I mean? Because we live on a planet, and we call that planet Earth. So wherever you are, right? They like to say first world country, second world country, third world country, like, but regardless if you live in a first world country, a second, third, fourth, fifth, or 100 world country, wherever you at, regardless, wherever you at on this planet, you on planet Earth, regardless if you're white, you're black, you're blue, you're brown, yellow, red, purple, or green, we all live on the same planet Earth. So that is just to say, like, have a larger scope, have a large, and yeah, I have my documentation. I keep it real. See, that's just an English translation of the laws of Maat, but this comes from a solid source. You know what I mean? Real hieroglyphics, real papyrus, documents proving this information, right? But anytime you tell any religion, I don't care if it's the Quran, if it's the Torah, it's even in the name of their books cannot do without Ra. They have to be Torah, Quran, and you have Ramadan, and they cannot do without Ra. They cannot do without Ra. They cannot do without chemetics. They need a light source, and that's what they're good at, like being real parasitic and just preying off the host. You know what I mean? Living off the host, but they don't generate their own energy. They always have to copy on other people's stuff, and even pretend that it's their own. Like you could copy on someone's stuff, and at least you give credit to the person and say, well, you know, we got this technologies, these philosophies, these mathematical equations from these people over here that was well advanced in civilization for thousands. Our shit go back millions of years. Just to make it plain, like Malcolm said, just to make it plain, our civilization go back millions of years, right? You have the calendar of Dendera that's carbon dated over 80,000 years alone. Now, the calendar alone is the age. I'm not the one that did the testing, right? These are the same set of Wazungu people and even other races, and came out with the results and proved that this thing is 80,000 years. The calendar of Dendera, where you get the 12 months, 12 constellations, same way you have the signs with to match it and everything. Also, even astrology, the concept of astrology and all that. Kemet is the zenith or the climax of the Nile Valley civilization, right? No, that Nile Valley civilization didn't start in ancient Kemet. It came from Kush, Ethiopia, Sudan, that area. Ethiopia is the parents of ancient Egypt. And the Ethiopians, they also had their parents that predates their knowledge and civilization. which is the Dogon tribe people in Mali. If you know about the Dogon Kananga, right, and they do their dances and their celebration, keeping up with their tradition in connection to nature, the cosmos, the galaxy, the stars, sun, constellations, and all that. Already knew Sirius A, Sirius B, without like way back, way back. Telescopes wasn't invented yet. And how did these people, like Sirius A, the star Sirius A, you could see it with the naked eyes, right? No problem. But you have Sirius A and you have also Sirius B. That's Asa and Aset right there, symbolically on a macrocosmic level, as above, so below, right? And our ancestors already understood that, right? And all these concepts came from our people, right? We are the children of the sun. They like to say that our sun worshippers. We don't sun in the concept that people perceive of that phrase when they hear sun worshippers. All people didn't worship the sun in that perceived conception that your Europeanized mind and colonized, indoctrinated mind has. Our ancestors didn't have that conception. Even the idea of that sugar coated stuff they give you. Oh, be a good slave and obey your earthly masters on earth, so that your heavenly masters will be pleased with you, and you'll enjoy your pie high in the sky by and by when you die. You know what I mean? Leaving your rest of families to cry. You know what I mean? That's the time you'll get to go in paradise, go in heaven. Well, you know, our ancestors, they believed, right, that heaven is in the sun. They believe that heaven is in the stars, heaven is in the cosmos, and that we go back to the cosmos. Like when our terrestrial body extinguishes, that spiritual essence and energy goes back. Like the physical body will rotten and form manure, and that part will be recycled back into life again. Because even when you think about compost minerals, the minerals are energy. What you think it nourishes the plants for? Me, even in school, I was the type of student that would always learn stuff. As soon as I would learn the first chapter, let's say we have 5 chapters to go through. As soon as I learned the very first chapter, like I had my hands on it, I understand it, I understood it, I could explain it and all. I was the type to always like help my classmates, and even to this day. So when it comes to the comedic knowledge, I feel the same way. I feel like what I know, I feel happy and pleased to just pass it on, and it's vital information. This type of information is more important than everything I ever learned in my whole educational experience of going to school, because it's one of the main keys to break the chains of all this destruction and chaos and disharmony and wars and racism and double standards and corruption in governments and prejudice, immorality and religion, you know what I mean? Indoctrination and these things is the main key, because the ankh is the key of life. On the top you have the oval part representing the female aspect, the female energy, the womb. You know what I mean? The black woman is God. When you hear Dr. Ben Youssef say that it is metaphysical, you need to understand that everybody comes from the black hole. Everybody comes from the black hole. We are microcosms, right? We are microcosms. And you have the macrocosm, right? As above, so below. So you have your terrestrial self and you have your etheric self, right? This is the feminine part, feminine energy. the ovary, the vagina, the uni, and this is the phallus, the male genitalia. When feminine and masculine energy comes together, they create life, which are the children or the fruits, right, of procreation and co-creation, right? Because we co-creators with the divine creator. Children, whether boy or girl. And it's also a depiction of the woman's fallopian tube, the eggs, the ovary, and, you know what I mean? Everything is in there. The cosmic egg, origin of life. That's the key of life. And it's not just the key of life. Simple. The key is the key of eternal life. Eternal life. That's a plain concept that anyone could understand. This is what perpetuates our existence on this planet. Animals and trees as well. Plants as well. You have female plants, you have male plants, you have pollinating the female plants. They create the fruits. The fruits has the seeds in it. Then the seeds go back to the ground. Trees again, male or female. You know, the female tree that bears the fruits, and the fruits that keeps the seeds to keep on proliferating that existence. Right, the seeds could be female or male, and the male would continue to create pollen to pollinate the female plants, and the cycle goes on and on. The divine and supreme intelligence that created everything on this plane is infinite, right? I'm your boy, Scrappy Consudea. With that being said, love, light, prosperity, and health. Ankh Uja Sineb, Ankh life, Uja prosperity, or clear view, clairvoyance, and Sineb health. Because with good health, you have energy, you vibrant, you optimistic, you lively, and you could go on to be motivated to do what you need to do to have a comfortable enough life. And life, always think in abundance, because life is in abundance. Even when you think about the fruits, the plants, or they produce from one seed, you get one tree. That tree has branches, many leaves, and when it's time to bear the fruits, like thousands of fruits on that one tree, from that one tree. And if it's a seasonal tree crop, you don't even need to plant it again. It bears its fruit in every season, non-stop. So like, we should just appreciate more the basic and at the same time complex things in life, because without these basic complex things in life, we would not survive. Hotep. Uncle Justin again to all the family. Ashe.